Hello, Jesse Good here. Let's take a look at LEGO Minifigures Series 29, which releases May 1st, 2026. And LEGO sent me this early, but I'm going to give all of my actual opinions. I'm not going to lie to you. This retails for $5 and there's 12 minifigures to collect. And I'm going to rank these minifigures from my favorite to my least favorite. I think it's my nostalgia speaking, but my favorite minifigure of this series is the Bionicle Cosplayer. This is a remake of Tahu in minifigure form, but it's actually somebody who's dressed up as Tahu. You can see a face print underneath there. The design of this uses a completely new mask piece, which fits at the top of the head. And you can see how that's open at the back, much like a Bionicle. We also got recreations of specific construction and Technic parts, which is really fun to see. Dual molded legs. The detailing on the front torso, I really like seeing those parts recreated. And you can see printing all the way down to the feet right there. The mask and headpiece arrangement works like a Batman minifigure, where underneath you can see we have that band at the top for the little eye hole design. That's pretty silly. I do kind of wish that that band wrapped all the way around, because you do have these awkward gaps at the side. That's not too big of a deal. And also the shoulder pad piece is actually an existing piece that we've gone throughout different themes. I love the accessory recreating the original packaging for Tahu. We have a stud at the very top, and there's actually no printing at the back of the cylinder. And I also like the accessory of the flame sword, even if it's a very simple build that uses that lightsaber handle piece. Now, if you remove the nostalgia, this is my favorite minifigure of the series, which is the cute witch. The design for this just has so much going for her. There's a completely new hair hat combo for this witch hat that has some bangs at the front, so it's a hair hat combo. Even got some swoops of hair left and right. Love the purple coloring they use with the base hat, which is my favorite color, but also love the blue hair that we have going on there. Also, the base here uses that very new color of blue violet, which we saw with Botanicals. That might be the first time we're getting that as a minifigure torso base. So it's really cool to also get those as just unprinted arms there. One of the few times where I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of happy there's no arm printing here. It's such a new color. Love the skirt design as well, which has sparkles on there. A little starry night sky design with a nice gold lining all throughout. The design of the legs are fantastic as well, which have like these cat boots, which are freaking adorable. The design of the alternate face is so cute too with the wink. I love this. The overall design gives me like magical girl anime vibes. Like I'm getting some Little Witch Academy vibes here from this outfit. And then yeah, that completely new cat, which almost has Sphinx cat-like vibes there. Love the printing there. It's always great to get different variants of very popular domesticated animals. I mean, I love new animals in LEGO in general. So very welcome here instead of just giving us the same old cat. My third favorite is this trash monster. I mean, just looking at the minifigures, even with the accessories removed, this has printing all over. I mean, look at that side leg, side arm printing at the back, of course, which some of it gets covered by that slimy headpiece. And yes, this is the piece that we saw in LEGO Video back in, 2021? And it was used in a translucent green color, but in here, it's a lime green. No translucent parts this time. And you can see some more side arm printing, which is actually different from the other side, which had a fly. This one has a worm, just like the side leg of this one has a fly, and the other side has a roach or something like that. Oh my gosh, I hate roaches. At the very front, more torso printing that's covered by that sludgy design of that head attachment. And yes, the face print underneath is awesome, where it's a pretty simplistic looking pumpkin design at the base, but then you have this worm popping out and sludge at the top right there. Love that. You even got some printing at the very back. I don't know, I'm kind of getting vibes of Halloween 3, you know. 3 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 3 more days till Halloween, Silver Shamrock. One of the 3 fantastic accessories is this pizza box right here, which is a 2x2 tile print. We've seen that many times, but not with a rotting, kind of garbage, filthy design going on there. Even a little mushroom showing up on the top right there, which there is actually a mushroom at the legs of the minifigure right here. And then we have a design of a completely new piece for this fish skeleton, which looks amazing. This is based off of the existing LEGO fish piece. And at the very top, we have a 1x1 printed circular tile of a fly, which you get an extra of in this figure. That is extremely usable. I love that. And then my fourth favorite would be this Monster Hunter right here, who not only has an amazing minifigure with printing and even a cloth hip attachment, but also this amazing new piece for a gun blade. This is so cool. You can see how there's a handle at the top right there. The shaping at the bottom is almost like the LEGO machete piece that was introduced rather recently. I love how you could attach an accessory piece inside this hole right here. So what they have to make this not straight up like a gun, I guess in universe it's technically like a blade flamethrower, is this little flame piece right here. You could also have minifigures hold that weapon from this part right here. And this minifigure has another completely new and usable piece with this hair hat combo right here, which gives me vibes of the Lone Ranger villain minifigure from back in 2013. Love the sculpting there. Love the swoop of hair at the front. Her design has some great side arm printing, which you can see some vials being held there and even a buckle near the cuffs. And then we have a different printing on this side right here, which doesn't have any vials. Some leg printing that you can see there looks to be another vial or like a little potion being held there. Love the dual molded legs with the boots. There may not be any side leg printing, but I know a lot of Star Wars fans are going to be mad that this minifigure of $5 CMF has a cloth hip attachment, which those are kind of rare nowadays. There's two face prints. The second one looks especially kick butt. I mean, look at it with that hair hat combo removed. And finally, there's some printing at the back of the torso, which has more vials being held and a little satchel. There's a second accessory, which is a 2x3 tile of a poster, which includes the vampire lady from last year's Haunted House creator set. That's pretty fun. My fifth favorite of this series is the Cyborg Dinosaur. The printing is also just amazing on every corner of this minifigure. It does use the base of, say, the T-Rex from a previous series, even down to having that tail piece as well. But that didn't have as much printing as this figure, nor did it have an accessory. And honestly, I just think this is more unique and pretty cool looking. The design here has really nice little silver teeth there. I like how they got that detail, and that really shines out to me. That accessory is just a cylinder piece of a battery, which is kind of funny because this is the same exact build as the Bionicle canister piece. So yeah, two accessories in the series with the same build, but of course different printing on the cylinders themselves. Fantastic printing for the torso and the legs, which you get printing all the way down to the feet there. The side, leg, and arm printing I really appreciate. It's seemingly the same on both sides here. And also, there's side printing on the mask piece, which you can see, of course, they have the eyes there. But then they go above and beyond and even have printing at the very top of the mask, which I know I say mask, but it's really part of the head of the cyborg. It just was originally a T-Rex Max piece. And then underneath, you get this very strange printed minifigure head, which one of it has like a closed throat there. And then this one has like an open throat design. I'm sorry, I can't think of a better word. Looks like it's going to blow fire out of its mouth. I like how they give you the option to display it either way. And yeah, that tail has some printing on top of it. It is rubber if you weren't familiar with the T-Rex tail piece. Rounding off the top half of my favorites is the Tuba Player, though this is pretty close to the one that's next on the list. I absolutely adore the design of this new piece for a tuba. It's pretty dang elaborate, especially from the front right here. And it gives me vibes of the Fabuland tuba. I mean, I think the only tubas we've seen since have been brick built. So that's a really neat addition to the musical instruments that LEGO minifigures could hold. This one holds from this little handlebar piece right here. Then we have a marching band outfit design, which, you know, we did get some marching band minifigures with this year's modular, but those had like a purple coloring. This has red and gold and some white and black, and the design has some great printing for this top hat piece, which is the classic piece that we saw way back with Pirates and the Imperial Soldiers. But you also get some great side arm printing for, I guess those are like cuffs. And you can see that on the other side as well. Side leg printing, which is very welcome. The design having more of those gold kind of shine to them, and also down to the shoes, which are neat. Look at the front of the legs too with that gold shine. Back printing on the torso. And the new face print is similar to one we've seen before, but instead this time it's one-sided and you have a sweat dripping on their forehead. I love how perfectly that aligns with the mouthpiece of the tuba. It's pretty flawless. Next is the Chocolatier, which is one of the few collectible minifigures I'd like to display this way with the plate vertical, because you have this little nozzle right here to perfect your chocolate statue. And if you display it this way, then it's just kind of sticking out to the nowhere. When you have it this way, it's like, okay, yeah, they're sculpting that chocolate statue of a dragon, which is a lovely recolor of a D&D dragon piece that we got. No printing here. It is exclusive to the set in this reddish brown. I love the minifigure as well, the design of which has a new color for the hair of this existing chef's hat piece with the ponytail. We got that with a similar looking minifigure, admittedly, back in Series 17, which was the Baker. Regardless, that hair color is such a new color. I mean, it's kind of like the violet color we looked at earlier in this review. It's called Ochre Yellow. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, that's a pretty lovely color that I want to see on more minifigures. The design for that chocolate nozzle piece, I'm sure there's a more specific name if you're a chocolatier, has an interesting build of a cone piece. And then you have a Harry Potter wand piece in the middle there, attached to an accessory holder or action pose piece to be more specific. That is insane, and I love how that came out. That's a very clever part usage. The rest of the minifigure almost gives me vibes for Larry the Barista's outfit, but you have some printing with some squiggly designs on that torso. I believe that's supposed to be like a gold leaf, but it almost looks like a signature or something. Legs are very Larry the Barista-esque. And at the back, you can see there's a little bit of printing at the top of the torso. I love this face print of the tongue sticking out, like a very precise move is being made. The other facial expression is something a lot more generic. She also gets dual molded arms, which are the Homer Simpson yellow and white design. Oh, and I forgot to point out that the dragon statue lays on a saucer piece in white, and then also this piece, which I will always remember as the hats from that River Chase set in Indiana Jones 2009. And then the last of the minifigures I would consider great is this marine biologist. I'm pretty tired of divers in the world of LEGO collectible minifigures, but they went above and beyond with this design. I am an absolute sucker for this hair snorkel goggle design, which is just one piece. You can't remove that in any way, unlike other snorkel goggles. But the sculpting there is seemingly a dual molding where you have this translucent blue coloring around this orange-ish hair piece. I love how that came out. That looks beautiful if you ask me. It's a very nice sculpt. And the design of the torso has, well, the trans flag colors. I appreciate that. I like the shine going on where you have almost like a shiny blue and pink design. That's pretty neat. No side arm or side leg printing, but we do end up getting dual molded legs, which is neat. And those legs are just good for like swim trunks. I like how those came out, or diving gear in general. At the very bottom, you have these flipper pieces in dark blue, which is not entirely common in that color. The accessories rule too. There's a 2x2 tile of this little clipboard, which when I first saw this, I thought I said 10G, but it says 106, so I guess there's 106 clownfish. I like the pen there. But then you get this clownfish piece, which is a recolor of, I believe, an existing fish piece. The ones that have a little pole connection at the bottom there. It's a little bit, oh my gosh, I just lost that one piece. Thankfully you get an extra, but it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see how that could connect to a pole piece. And so you just end up putting one of those common stamp pieces, as I call them, the ones with the handle at the top and that anti-stud at the bottom. And then you could attach that to plates if you want it's very neat in that regard. You could have minifigures hold the design, but here they have the clownfish on an anemone. I hope I said that right. I hope I'm not Nemo. And I love getting that anemone piece, which is just kind of like a plant brush piece, which we have gotten in that color before, but it's cool to get it in a collectible minifigure series for so cheap. Some more details with the minifigure. We got a face print, which I don't know, looks a little bit familiar, but there's been no reuses of face prints in this whole series, so I'm not sure why they would start here. And at the back, you could see that there's some back torso printing that's really neat with like a zipper going on for the back of that scuba suit. And I like how we get another one of those, as I call them, stamp pieces with that handlebar top and anti-stud bottom. Because that means you could easily put this onto a minifigure stand piece. Because when you have those flippers on, they don't connect to studs. That's really cute. This Boba Fan had a lot of potential, but there's some glaring issues here. I do love this costume attachment. That's really neat, and seeing that translucent sparkly pink design going on there is just a nice color to get for what they're representing here. I also really like this face print right here where we have this sunglasses look with like heart sunglass frames. That's really adorable. The alternate face is kind of whatever. It's just kind of like a generic face print. I mean, I like the freckles, I guess. The torso and legs are just unprinted pink, and you can see it at the back as well. Okay, so the problems with this are this accessory is very boring. We just get cherries in this color that we've gotten them in a billion times before. This outfit looks so much like the squishy piece, which we got a Boba version of for the Shark Army General #1 from the LEGO Ninjago movie minifigure series. We should have got something along that line as an accessory. Give us a Boba piece that this minifigure could hold. The cherries is such a boring alternative. The second part I don't like is that you could see through this costume piece. So the alternate face is just kind of peering at the back there, and it's creepy. I wish they would have given a one-sided face, honestly. I know that's asking for less options, but it just looks wrong when you have an alternate face for this character. This face at the front was enough. One last thing to note with this, though, is that this part, the little straw, can hold an accessory piece. It has an accessory hole in there. So you'll see this piece in a second, but that's just an example with the unicorn horn piece. You know what? Yeah, this is my third least favorite. I bumped this up. At one point it was my least favorite, but I've grown to appreciate this one more. It is a football goalie or soccer goalie. What I find so interesting about this is this piece right here, which is a soccer piece or a football piece. And the design here is actually the one that they use for the Nike Dunk set, which they use for basketball there. And that's so welcome because it has a receiving hole there so that you can have the goalie actually hold the soccer ball. I mean, there was a full series of soccer balls, and they would just keep running off of the stand because they didn't have a part to connect this to the minifigure or the plate. This is a massive improvement. They even have an accessory hole at the top there, which is an interesting choice. I'm not sure I love that. I don't think that was totally needed. I mean, we have the stud at the bottom, you know, the receiving stud. Maybe that's for like choking safety reasons. I'm not entirely sure. But this being the one used in that Nike Dunk set, you could also use it as a headpiece. I guess he's literally a football head. Hey Arnold up in this. Beyond that, I originally thought that the hairpiece was new, but it's actually Luffy's hairpiece from LEGO One Piece. It's cool to see that in such a cheap set, like a $5 set. Though it would have been cool to get that in a new color because, you know, black is the most common color for that piece. The design of the torso and the legs have a very eclectic color scheme for this uniform. I mean, the lime and the aqua is an interesting combination. And then you have those shoes at the bottom there, which might be my favorite part of the outfit because I think you could just use this for some nice like gym pants or just casual everyday pants representing a team and stuff like that because people like wearing sports clothes outside. So I actually find that pretty dang useful if you ask me. The face print is completely new. The bearded face with a smile on one side and a determined shout on the other side, which we don't really get faces of minifigures shouting, so that's pretty useful. Next is the unicorn elf. This one I don't have too much of a draw to, but there are some cool parts. I love the use of the Wonder Woman hair of all things. Yeah, I thought this was a new hairpiece. You'll hear in the pack opening video, which I recorded before I even saw the pictures fully through. And yeah, of course, before I built these. But no, that is the Wonder Woman hair piece, which is very interesting. It hasn't been in production since apparently 2020. So to see that here come back, does that mean that we're getting a LEGO Wonder Woman minifigure soon? The design has a tiara at the front there. That's pretty cool. I like getting it in this gold coloring because we've only ever seen that used with Wonder Woman. It's some nice part usage, actually. The dress is pretty cool. I mean, you know, I like lime green dresses, but the design here almost feels a bit too similar to the Elf Maiden from Series 17, just overall. You especially feel that with this alternate face right here, where I wish they had a more distinguished design for the face and something more of a twist here, because really this is the accessory. It's called the Unicorn Elf because, well, there's a unicorn right here. This is a unicorn fall piece, which we did get with that creator set last summer, which was a lot of fun. This is actually a different coloring though, because while we did get one with the base white color, the design in there was a purple mane. Here it's a gold mane matching the hair of the elf. The design has that unicorn horn piece and a nice kind of like milky, kind of sparkly, clear design, which we have gotten in some LEGO Friends sets in that same color. This is shorter than the more common unicorn horn piece. This is an accessory hole. We showed that with the Boba minifigure. Her second accessory, just being this clear goblet, is really nothing interesting. That's come in a billion sets in that color before. I do appreciate the printing at the back of the torso and the back of the sloped dress leg piece. This is clearly Lloyd, but LEGO is playing it up, just calling it the mysterious Ronin. The design here, I do like that hair hood combo. That's a very elaborate sculpt. You could see just the details all the way at the back there and how you have the hair popping out. That's really cool. But other than that, this just feels like another edition of Lloyd that is similar to ones found in sets. To be fair, he doesn't come in too many cheap sets, so there's that. This does have some fantastic printing as well. You could see at the front torso, there's some nice printing. There's some printing at the legs as well. Side arms is probably the most impressive part. Love seeing that. And on this side, slightly different printing for the side arms. Face print is new for Lloyd, where it looks like an older design, cheekbones and all. You can see an alternate face right here, which looks pretty cool with the design of the hood hair combo. You know, the positioning of the eyebrows do a lot of work. There's an accessory of this katana right here, which is fairly common even in gold, and a shuriken, which you get an extra of. Now you do have a sword holder, which is an existing design. You could just slip the katana into that piece. And then with that part removed, you can see some back torso printing. And yes, these are dual molded legs. Sorry, Ninjago fans, that Lloyd was my least favorite. Don't think he's a bad minifigure, but he just stands out the least to me. But no, this is a fantastic series. There's so many amazing, detailed new minifigures all around. Great new piece introductions. I mean, I keep going back and forth. I don't know which of these two is my favorite because, yeah, earlier I said the Bionicle Cosplayer, but I do love this witch so much. Just the coloring there, the new pieces where you get two very useful ones. Okay, maybe that hair hat combo isn't the most useful thing, but the cat. But I love that hair hat combo so much, and that violet design. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Regardless, the rest of the minifigures, there's so many things that just stand out here. Of course, the Bionicle Cosplayer. I mean, oh my gosh, we got a Tahu minifigure, and they didn't skimp out on any of the details here, even giving us the classic packaging there. But other great minifigures, like the Cyborg Dinosaur, the Chocolatier, the Monster Hunter, which has like two amazing new pieces. That Trash Monster, I love that overall printing and all the grime and bugs and everything there. But then you get a very useful piece with that fish skeleton, and then a 1x1 print of the fly and like the garbage pizza box. Oh my gosh. The Tuba piece is amazing, and even that minifigure is very good. They even went above and beyond with a diver minifigure in here, which is like the most over-treaded theme in the CMF series. I'm so impressed on multiple levels here. I love what LEGO did with just the choice of minifigures here. Not all our winners. Again, the goalie is kind of weak, but for me, it's just that Lloyd and that elf unicorn princess, whatever the heck you want to call it, that really stand out as the weak ones. With all things considered, for $5 a minifigure, these are some of the most detailed minifigures of the year, and I think that's how it should be at that price and for a collectible minifigure series. I don't really rate these because, well, it's just hard to compare because I think so many minifigure series are great. I do have that bias of it being my favorite LEGO theme. One of the strongest generic series in a while. Let me know, what is your ranking for this series? Where do you disagree? Which minifigures would you put at the top and which ones would you put at the bottom? Subscribe here for more honest LEGO takes. Thank you again to LEGO for sending me this, but in no way did that compromise my honest opinions of this set. I'll see you later. Seriously, you clicking that like button, clicking that subscribe button, and leaving a comment goes so far with this rough algorithm. Peace out. Bye.